the more and more you think you have an incurable disease. Depression is not an incurable disease. Sadness is not an incurable disease. Both of these things are temporary. And I know all of you are in a different situation. Some of you are depressed because of tragic things that have happened to you. Some of you are depressed because you inherited depression from your parents. Some of you are depressed because you have real mental conditions that imbalance your hormones. But no matter which category you fall into, depression is not incurable for you. But the more that you bask in that pain, the more that you cling to that heavy feeling that you get, the more that you provoke your sadness by listening to that music and consuming that content that you know isn't good for you, the more that you think you will never feel anything but your depression. And I know a lot of you are in that spot, because when you're deep in it, the last thing that you feel is hope. The last thing that you see is hope. The last thing that you think about is the solutions. Your mind is now conditioned that when you have a problem, you only think of more problems. And when you focus on the negative aspects of your life, that is what you're going to feel. That is what your life is going to be. Your life becomes what you think about the most. And so I don't want to sit here and act like I can't empathize with you, because I know that gut-wrenching feeling that you have, and having nobody to talk to about it, and having no support, and feeling like nobody on this planet understands you. But that mentality that you are curating is built to destroy your life, and it is a complete lie. If you take anything from this video, your mind lies to you constantly. Your mind is always going to push you towards what is comfortable to you, to what is familiar to you. And like I said before, if you've been struggling with years of depression, your mind is now most familiar with that depression. And so when you go to do the things that will change your life, that will shift your identity, that will force you to heal for real for the first time in your entire life, it is going to be the most uncomfortable thing you have ever done in your entire life. And so if you listen to your mind in that moment, when it's telling you that there is no way out, that this is how you were meant to feel, that you are just the unluckiest person on the planet, and you were just meant to come here, be born, and suffer your entire life. If you believe your mind when it tells you that, it's very much more difficult to get out of it. So the first thing that you need to do is realize that your mind needs to be working for you and not against you. There is way too much things out there trying to tear you down already. The people around you, the situations that come into your life. If you yourself is your own worst enemy, you are playing a losing game. And you should not sit there and wonder why you feel that way. You should not sit there and question, why am I so sad all the time, when you are your own worst enemy? Because all of your thoughts are about self-hatred. All of your thoughts are about the worst things that have ever happened to you. All of your thoughts are about anything negative that you can possibly spot within your life to cling to affirm the identity that has been created by depression. And in this moment, I pray and I hope that you all realize that I basically just broke it down to a T for you. You felt this way for so long that it became your emotional home. It became the most familiar feeling. So your mind is always going to push you back towards depression. It's always going to push you back towards provoking that sadness once again. So it feels like it's keeping you in that box that has been curated by your depression. And because it's so familiar to you, it's become your identity. And you no longer live your life through the lens of hope or self-belief or confidence. You live a life through the lens of depression. You live a life through the limitations that you have placed upon yourself by giving these negative labels to yourself. There should never be a time in your life where you say anything negative and attach it to your identity. You might be struggling with depression right now, but you shouldn't say, I'm really depressed. You can acknowledge it, you can visit it, but you can't invite it into your life. When you bask in it, when you sit in it every day, when you listen to the same playlist that gives you that horrible, dark feeling that you claim to want to get away from, you're clinging to that identity that you were never meant to be. You are not meant to suffer. You're not meant to be depressed. You're not meant to be anxious. You're not cursed in any sort of way. This is something that you're feeling right now. And it's not to punish you. It's to teach you something. And for so many years, I would sit there and see my mental struggles as a punishment. And I would see it as this curse that I would never be able to shake. And I felt just like you. I would tell myself, there's no hope for me. Why should I even try? Why should I even try to get better anymore? I went to therapy. I've been to 5 different therapists in my life and not a single one helped me. You know what they did? They gave me some pill that made me feel more numb than I did before, that never did anything for me. And that's not who you're meant to be. You're not meant to shut off how you truly feel. You're not meant to shrink to the pressure that life puts you under, that very pressure that you avoid and you run from the substances, from the hookups, from any distraction you can give yourself. Those very things that cause you the most pain hold every answer that you're looking for. It holds every answer to your purpose. It holds every answer to a better life for yourself. It holds every answer on how to take care of yourself, how to love yourself, how to be compassionate, not only for other people, but for yourself too. It holds the answers on how to make boundaries. It holds the answers of self-respect. And it holds the answer to no longer letting your emotions control your life, control your decisions, control your habits, like a lot of you are doing as I speak to you right now. And for that 7 years, I was just like you. I was the biggest victim that you could ever find in your entire life. The laziest person you would ever meet in your life. I rotted away for years. There was days after day where I would not even get out of my bed for the entire day. I would stay up till 4 a.m., get absolutely faded, wake up at 2 p.m., get up, eat a meal, and then go back to sleep. I was under so much mental duress and so much stress from me just constantly feeding the beast of depression that I had within myself and victimizing myself and just deciding that I shouldn't even try anything new. I shouldn't try the things that people are telling me are gonna help me because I'm just cursed and I'm just not like everybody else, right? And I bet a lot of you say the same things, but it's just not true. It's a complete lie. And it takes you acknowledging that and you, at the end of the day, having the heart to face the music, face the pain, and find out what lesson it's trying to teach you if you ever want to feel better. And again, I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to wake up every day and feel completely uncomfortable in your skin. I know what it's like to look in the mirror every single day and hate the person staring back at you. I know your pain. I know how heavy that is. I know what it's like to feel tired all of the time for years and years. I know what it's like to be so tired from battling up here, from battling the things that nobody ever sees, that you don't even have energy to try to help yourself. I know what that feels like. But I'm telling you, if you cling to that and you have this victim mentality and you don't have that grit about you to where you stare the devil in his face, you stare depression in its face and say, you're not going to beat me anymore. I'm way stronger than you, and nothing you could ever do can stop me from living a fulfilling life. And so how did I make that shift in my life? Again, I was in substance abuse. I was depressed. I felt all the things that you feel all the time. 7 years straight, never felt understood by anyone. Never could have a healthy relationship. Hurting people, self-sabotaging every good thing that could possibly come into my life. That was my life for a big chunk of it. And I am sitting here telling you how to get out of it. So you tell me how that happens. Well, I'll tell you how that happens. It's when you stop running. It's when you stop seeing it as a punishment and see it as an opportunity. It's when you stop giving depression more credit than it deserves and picturing it as this unbelievably huge beast in your mind that you can never fight, you can never have any effect on if you fought back. Depression is a small, little, lifeless, powerless being that you could eliminate if you only question your mind. Your mind right now is conditioned to destroy you. It's conditioned to keep running away from your problems. It is conditioned to keep avoiding the very thing that you need to face to get out of the depression. And so it takes you waking up one day and not believing what your mind tells you, not letting your mind make decisions for you, and not letting your emotions rule you. And literally telling yourself consciously out loud, whatever you want to do, you will not beat me today. You will not beat me any longer. You have already taken way too much from me. You have already taken way too much of who I truly am and who I want to be and who I am going to be. And I won't let you have that power over me again. And when your mind tells you to go back to that substance that you quit, and it tells you to keep listening to those songs that make you sad, and it tells you to fall deeper into that void that you are stuck in, you have to say in that moment, I will not allow this anymore, and it is not who I am anymore. You have to realize how powerful your mind is. And right now it is working against you. And all you have to do is command it and tell it that it will not rule you any longer. You have to let your mind know by going against what it tells you to do, doing what's uncomfortable, that you're in the driver's seat, that you are in control. If you have to talk to yourself and say, no, that's not me anymore. When you get these urges, when you get these impulses to do things that you know aren't good for you and know have been hurting you for years and years, you have to literally in that moment tell your mind, I don't do that anymore. That's not who I am anymore. And even though it's really uncomfortable to turn the cheek and go the other way, that's exactly what I'm going to do because that is what fulfills me. See, you are very uncomfortable. You are in a lot of pain. And so you don't see it as comfort. You don't see it as what's familiar to you. You see it as the disease, this viral infection that's just taking over your body day to day. and it only grows and gets worse. But all it takes is that one shift. And I know what you're saying. Oh, you don't understand me. You don't know what I've been through. You've only had experiences unique to your own life. How could you ever understand how I feel? Trust me, I know what it's like to not see any reason to live. I know what it's like to literally not see good in anything. I know what it's like to chase that high, chase that stimulation, chase these girls around just to ruin all of it. I know exactly what that feels like. I know what trauma feels like in many different forms. And I'm not saying that I know exactly how you feel, but I have a damn near good idea of how you feel. And I'm telling you, I have been through so many forms of trauma. I couldn't even count it on one hand. I have been through so much things that would literally kill most people, that most people would not be able to get through. And still, by just questioning my mind for the first time and commanding my mind, I took control of my life once again. And that's the shift that must occur in your life right now. And you can't wait any longer. The more that you avoid, the more that you run, every time it comes back, every time the pain comes back, it is 100 times worse, and it's 100 times harder to get through. It's 100 times harder, 100 times more of a battle every time that you push it off and you avoid it and you get another girlfriend to distract you and you keep buying from the plug because you think that's going to make you feel better. Every time you walk into that bar and get blackout every weekend because somehow after years and years of you thinking that that's going to help you, you still go back to it. Even though you still feel the same pain, you still feel as empty as you did before. If that was meant to fulfill you, then why do you have to keep going back? Why, if this thing that you love so much, that helps your anxiety, that helps you relax, that helps take the edge off, if that was supposed to fulfill you, then why hasn't it yet? Why do you have to go every weekend? Why do you have to keep texting the plug? Why do you have to keep texting that girl? I thought that was going to fulfill you. I thought that's what makes you feel better. But it never does it? So let's stop lying to ourselves and start living through the lens of what's real. And stop seeing ourselves for who we think we are and who we actually are. In this level of accountability, it's very intense. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt to look back on all the times that you sabotage yourself and you blamed it on everybody else, but really it's just been your fault the entire time. It's going to be hard to come to terms with It's going to be hard to come to terms with things that people have done to you to hurt you, and you can't put reason to it. And just having the will to not seek closure, to realize that you don't need a reason for everything. Because right now you're just clinging to these situations. Why did that person cheat on me? Why is this person not friends with me anymore? Why did this person hurt me? Why did my mom not show up for me? Why did my dad not show up for me? Why was my dad an alcoholic? Why was this or that? You're trying to find reason to things that you probably never will. And if you live that life and you keep digging for it and you keep trying to put reason behind everything that ever happens to you, your life will be wasted completely. You will live your entire life in the past when it's only supposed to be a place of reference, not a place of residence. You're not supposed to live in the past. You're supposed to use it to fuel you for the future. You're supposed to extract the lessons from the things that literally rip your heart to shreds. And those are the very lessons that will give you a better future, that will allow you to be a better person, that will allow you to have better relationships. But if you live through that lens of your depression,